Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. As voted by you on yesterday's live stream, today I'm going to be doing the next four stages, stages 71 to 74 of the Fanhome release of Build Robocop.
Drop it!
Now I haven't looked at the instructions, but we were working on the arm. So obviously we've already completed one arm, and in the last pack we had already started the other arm, as you can see here. And I'm guessing we're going to be continuing that today with these four stages. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, you will have to check it's in your territory. I have put a link in the video description there, and there's also a QR code on the screen. But for the third time this week, I think it is, we have a merch on the map. So today's merch on the map comes all the way from, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, is it Aloha or is it Aloha? I'm guessing it Aloha, Oregon, and it's Lauren Spencer. They are wearing one of the World of Wayne Burning Ship t-shirts. Every time I see that now, I keep looking at my ship over here thinking, it's not going to go that way. I will do it. But Lauren, thank you so much for submitting that. Now, as I said, you are in Aloha or Aloha in Oregon. Now, I'm guessing that's got to be the furthest yet. I haven't got a clue how many miles, 6,000 miles perhaps? Is it? Let's see. I was out. But absolutely awesome. Now I have got a merch on the map coming next week, which I think is going to beat that by location and destination. It's probably the furthest yet, but you will see that as we do that next week. Now if you do want to feature on merch on the map, I have got my link here to my Dashery store. Just get yourself an item, a t-shirt, a cushion, a phone case, a sticker, I don't know. Take a picture of you in it, email me, which is over here, let me know where you are, and I'll calculate how far you are from Corby. Anyway, without further ado, let's get cracking. I should really look at these magazines before I start these builds so I know what we're doing. I'm guessing we are building onto that arm today. So as you can see, we've got this section here that we're going to be putting on here with two screws. And we're putting screws in this side as well and putting the base on. So we are building the arm up. I think I'm going to bundle this with the next stage as well. Let's just see what we're doing in the next stage. I've got a funny feeling if we are doing the full arm, I'm probably going to just do them all together. But let's see. If we've got to do the fingers as well, though, I will cut it off. We've got the ball joint here that we're going to be doing. So again, I am going to continue on to the next stage, which is stage 73. Looking like this. Here's the magazine. We've just got a panel here and this part to put in. So that's a really quick stage. Yeah, we're definitely going to do all four stages together. So the last stage here, stage 74. This is such an iconic poster image. This is. I remember the ZX Spectrum game having this as the loading screen. I do love that poster. That's brilliant. Right. Okay, and this is the last bit. Again, another ball joint in here. And it does look like we are going to be starting the fingers in this one. So, bit of a weird place to leave it, I have to say. But there you go. Let's do all four of these together. So here we go. These are all the parts for stage 71 first. All the metal parts always kept in this protective plastic. And basically, having this way round here, I'm just going to be slipping this onto here, which is going to be a little bit fun because the 2 points in there need to go into the two holes just there. So I'm just lining them up. There we go, they're in. And I'm holding that together with EP screws just into those points. So that's one. And this one here is two. Now on this side here, we're going to be putting another EP screw. But don't be tempted to put an EP screw on the other side because it's not an EP screw on this side. On this side, it's going to be a CM screw because we are going into metal. So a little bit of oil on there. I'll get that one in. All that's left to do then is just to take this side here and I'm going to be putting this over the top, making sure it's the right way round way. Like that. And that's going to be held in once again with CM screws. And it takes two of these. So that is that stage complete. Just put that to one side. We're then going to be creating this ball joint here using all of these parts. And that means taking the smaller of the ball joint here and putting that in there. And obviously that can go all the way to the bottom. So we've got some articulation there now. And to hold that into place, what we're going to be doing is slightly different from what the instructions say. I'm going to be putting this small cap on there. Then I'm going to be putting the large cap on here. And then I'm going to be closing that off by putting this over the top of all three. If you do it in the way of the instructions, unfortunately, gravity doesn't like that. So it's gonna try and stop you. Holding this together with EP screws. Oh, gravity, how you task me. Tasks me. Okay. Get these in. And you do want this to be really tight. Because even though making this really tight means that it's going to be stiff so you can hardly move this, trust me, when the arm's on there, it's going to be really easy to move. So now this is going to be going on what we just created here. It can only go on one way. It won't let you put it on the wrong way. So that's going to go on there. And again, the same screws are going to hold this into place. And we do need 3 of these. That's perfect. With that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Then I've got this ultra quick stage. Which basically means I'm going to be putting a cover just into this section. We've got a large lug and a small one, so this can only go in one way. That clips in there. And then this is going to be going over what we've just created here. And basically, there is a way that it does go in. We want to be lining up this line here with this line just here. So, there we go. That's got to be the quickest stage of any build. Which means to finish this off, we're going to be starting to create the hand. So once this other arm's completed, we are almost there. We're going to be working on the torso, and Robocop will pretty much almost be finished. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start creating the fingers. Now these are labelled with a number 1 just in there. So I'm going to piece these 2 parts together, and that's going to make a fingertip. So then this fingertip, having it this way round, is going to go into this ball joint bracket. And I'm going to be putting a spring in this. So, now the springs are here. And what's going to happen, if I get them out, is I'm going to be making sure these holes line up like that and putting this spring through the hole. Now I am aware, when we did the first arm, a lot of people were having problems with this. But as you can see, that spring's in there fine at the moment. I've then got these RP screws. These are really long screws, which is going to go into the spring to tie it in. Now I'm just going to make sure I'm going to change the bit here to a smaller bit. This is my PH 000 end. Just going to see how that fits on there. Oh, that's perfect. And I'm going to get this in. So it's probably best to actually put that in by hand first, inside the spring, and then tighten that up. Don't go too tight, just tight enough to have that engaged, and as you can see, we have now got that in like that. Perfect. Put that little finger to one side while we create now the bracket for the ball joint at the back. That means we're going to take this side of the bracket, which is stapled with a it's stamped with an L. That goes on top there, and I need some BM screws at the ready, because when I put the top of this on, which is just going to go on the top there, I am holding that in with these screws. It will help that I've changed my bit again back to the PH 0 bit. Now that's in place there, just like that. Eventually this is going to be pushing onto this ball joint here. Not going to be pushing that on yet. And obviously we'll start putting the fingers in soon as well. Now we do have some parts left over, including that spring, which I'm going to need to keep safe. So I'm just putting these back in this bag here, because that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. Now I'm having a quick look at the recording time for this, including merch on the map, was 18 minutes. So there you go. But nice quick build today. And as you see, we've started the hand on the last arm. So that's interesting. I've haven't set the focus properly. Look at that. I'm mucking around. I hope you like that nice quick video today. Now, tomorrow on the channel, if you remember, there was no video on the channel on Monday because I was in Portmeirion in Wales where they filmed The Prisoner. I've got sort of like a walk around the village on Saturday, and you're going to see ambience and what they call asthma. I've tried to keep my talking down to a minimum so you can actually hear all the birds and the sounds of 6:30 in the morning walking around Portmeirion. But check out that video tomorrow. I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.